See the unseen. Change the unchanged. The innovation.
Hi, I'm geophysicist Ross Mitchell, and welcome to the video highlights of Volume 3, Issue 3 of The Innovation. The Innovation always has insightful and eye-catching covers, and this issue is certainly no exception. The issue's pastoral yet technical cover depicts the past, present, and future of medical science. Medicine has come so far. Humans are living longer. We're enjoying a higher quality of life. But there's still more work to do. From herbs to molecular signatures, humankind is experiencing a transition from traditional medicine to personalized medicine. As boldly stated in this issue of The Innovation, the right treatment for the right patient at the right time. Personally, my favorite part of the cover is the timeline of medical discoveries from Li Xinzhen's compendium on medical science during the Ming Dynasty to the discovery of the double helix by Francis Crick and James Watson in Nature in 1953. Now let's explore a few of the exciting topics covered in this issue of The Innovation. Desert soilization. One important way The Innovation is innovating is by bringing debate back to science. In the early decades of the journal Nature, debates would rage back and forth for weeks and weeks. Now, Nature only rarely publishes comments and replies, and only online, not in print. The Innovation proportionally publishes a large number of commentary and perspectives pieces. And this week, they have even pitted two contrary opinions against each other. What's the issue being debated? It's one that our viewers like you will be familiar with. Desert soilization, to be or not to be. Remember that desertification is a major environmental problem that is only becoming larger due to global warming. But whether the phenomenon known as desert soilization is the answer or not is debated. The opponents argue that the so-called proof of concept test conducted near the Yellow River of China was misleading. They argue that the groundwater is much shallower there than in most true deserts. But the opponents question the photographic evidence used to argue that their test site has a shallow water table. They provide further satellite and ground-based imagery showing how the surrounding barren landscape compares to the lush region of their soilization experiment. So who's right and who's wrong? We can't yet be sure, but surely engaging in such debate is the only way to get there. Compliments to The Innovation for standing up for open and honest debate. The COVID cycle. I must also mention another commentary article in this issue that actually commented on an idea of my own published in The Innovation. You may recall that my colleague Zhang Jinghai and I had discovered a strong 4-month-long cycle in COVID cases that explained why the pandemic has come wave after wave. In this issue of The Innovation, our observation was put to the test. How exciting, but also nerve-wracking. Our study had focused on the global case data, as well as 14 different countries. The new study focused on Switzerland, a country we had not analyzed. Also, the Swiss study leveraged the availability of not merely COVID case data, but also case data being normalized by the number of tests being conducted. It was indeed a relief and a pleasant surprise to see that the 4-month cycle was also clearly present in the Swiss analysis. Phew! But it was humbling to see that the signal was even stronger and clearer because the new analysis had taken into account not only the number of cases, but also the number of tests, avoiding the meaningless increase in cases merely because of an increase in tests. Details aside, the idea of a mysterious 4-month COVID cycle lives on, and The Innovation has led the way in this timely discovery. Hopefully the discovery may help us cope better with the pandemic and maybe even ultimately beat the virus. But that's not all. There are many other topics covered in this issue of The Innovation that we haven't discussed in the video highlights. Make sure to check them out. They include clinical trials in cancer, a possible cure for HIV from stem cell research, zoonotic attack, the emergence of Omicron as COVID keeps evolving, how UNESCO designated sites help reach sustainability goals, real-life applications of quantum gravimetry. Can a 10-year fishing ban rescue biodiversity in the Yangtze River? The mystery of animal magnetism. Understanding esophageal cancer that disproportionately affects China. Can exposure to vegetation reduce preterm birth risk? Mapping the visual consciousness of the human brain. A revolution in vitamin E production. Understanding species adaptations on a molecular level. No looking back for HVAC. Making new ways of making useful aziridines. On a cohort study on the long-term effects of ozone exposure. And last but not least, data-driven modeling of solar flares and eruptions. Tune in next time for the next issue of The Innovation.
Pursue excellence.